heritage and sustainability of our culture.
Okay, I see. So, how do you start your business? Is it by, I mean, like your financial? Where do you get your finance? Or is it you borrow it from your relative or from the bank?
Okay, fortunately, when we move out here, just to give you a little bit more background, it is not the uh, sort of putting up a business per se. It is more of a sabbatical break, like taking a break, and we were trying to do something different to share our lifestyle. Okay, so it was based on our limited revenues, but we were prepared then uh, to accommodate for growth within our what we call financial limit.
So, that's mean you are the founder of this business, right?
Me
The
and
first.
my wife, to be exact, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you and your wife. Okay, I see. And
Yes. Have you have you received any kind of assistance, financial or non-financial, from a government or private agency?
I can't hear you.
Uh, Hold on. Have you received some kind of assistance from uh, the government or any kind of private sector?
Well, no, not actually, because we did not want first to be obligated in the sense that we were pursuing this based on passion. So it is not something that we were seriously looking at running the business, okay, initially.
All right. So, what would you say would be the current plans for the business and um, sorry, what is the current status of the businesses? Is there any kind of plan for the future?
Oh, well, I think the business that we are in is based on, like I said just now, heritage and culture. And that seems to be like the trend nowadays, right? For tourism, that people want to explore into the various cultural what is called practices around the world. And of course, the benefit of focusing on culture is that it is within the context of sustainability, which is definitely the growing trend.
Thank you. Um, what would you say is the position of your business right now compared to the other people in your market, other competitors in your market?
Well, I think first and foremost, I have to stress that in tourism, it is not competition. It is complementary. Okay, because there are a lot of cultures, of course, even in Malaysia. So what we are practicing is just sharing our culture. Okay.
All right, thank you.
oh, I see. Then, and about your business. Okay, and regarding your business now, do you have any missions like vision or that you are target to achieve in the long term or short term for now? Like, is there anything you want to achieve in your business now?
Okay. I think the development to date have encouraged us to look further beyond what we are currently offering, and that's one factor that it sort of complement is the current thinking or what they call wellness uh, segment of tourism. Yeah.
Oh,
So, being in the ecosystem that we are and practicing the cultural heritage, actually, complement towards the wellness program. So we are looking at expanding in the context of health, like I mentioned just now, in the wellness segment of tourism.
Ah, I see. Okay. I think my other members also have a few questions to ask.
Yeah, me. So, actually, I've been like curious about this since you said that you are, doing a lake retreat, right? So, I believe that during the COVID-19, business might not have been booming then. So, I want to know how did you handle the business during the pandemic or MCO periods?
Very interesting question. Actually, we uh, we were definitely affected because, at that point of time, 80% of our guests are foreigners. Obviously, because of the cultural exposure that they want. And of course, the COVID situation does impact us a lot. Plus, I think even the local guests were not able to visit our place. So the fortunate thing is that we're living in a more rural setup, which actually contribute to other elements like we are by the lakeside, so there is this opportunity to do some fish rearing. Okay, and then of course the other aspect is agricultural side of the stay, but it is more to complement that period rather than as business. And to put it in yes, I think we need that 2 year break.
All right, this is very interesting. I also have another question. What do you think makes you different from other homestays or resorts in Malaysia?
Hmm. That is a very tricky question actually, because I wouldn't consider that we are different, but we are actually delivering uh, our way of life. So it is nothing, not very significant in terms of if you say competitiveness. But I think what probably have attracted our guests is the fact that we are a husband and wife kind of setup. Okay, it's a family, right? So it is not seen as a business, and we share the little bit of what we enjoy doing. Okay, uh, give you an example. In the morning, I would put hibiscus flowers in the vase because that's my passion. All right, and to the benefit of my guests, they now learn what is the national flower. A very simple element like that, right? And then we also share like our local cooking that is related to say lenggong and perak, and such again it sort of complement in a way because we use local vegetables, and as such it becomes defined as you know uh, uh, um, very eco-friendly, I would say. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's very nice to hear actually. And I also have one final question. Like, what inspired you to start, this lake retreat in a rural location? Like, why not in the city? Why in a place with nature? Like,
Ah,
is there like a reason?
well, I would say that. definitely there is a reason to that, because versus the city, the rural living is uh, sort of can be described as simplistic, serene, and tranquil. So versus the city, of course, it is not so appropriate if you are talking about sharing the cultural ways. Plus, the environment, the geographics of the place and the way of life living allows us, for example, to take our guests for what we call a village walk. And that's, of course, a totally different perspective from the city.
Okay.
Who would you say would be your main customer base?
Sorry?
Who, sorry, okay, closer. Who would you say would be your main customers?
Well, so far our customers are comprising of mainly foreign guests, but of course local guests who have a passion for culture and basically a relaxed space would subscribe to what we are doing. For example, I'm saying that way is because our foreign guests so far in the last 30 years, we have achieved 141 nationalities. Okay, and when I talk about the local guests having passion, we have guests that have even come to our place for 75th time.
Okay,
Would you
that's quite interesting. I also have like one question, okay? Like, because I noticed that you say that this is more like a family thing. So I
Hmm.
just want to know like how involved your family was in the early stages of the business. Like, what is their contribution in the early stages?
Yeah, of course. Family is me and my wife, basically, but my children are basically in the city, and they contribute by recommending or suggesting it to their friend circle. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Kaden, do you have
So
any question?
Yeah, can you hear me clearly?
I can.
Okay. I want to ask about the problems that your business currently faces. So, like things like any issues with like your staff or like maintenance costs.
Ah, okay. Well, first and foremost, I would like to share with you the term here. I do not consider them as problems. I would consider them as challenges. Okay, and saying that our biggest challenge, of course, is manpower. Yeah, it is a different subset altogether as compared from the city, because in the city, when you talk about manpower, you're talking about hiring people from different areas and whatnot. But in my concept here, it is more of, like I mentioned, sustainability. So we tend to actually contribute to the social system. It's more like community based. So we have to look at hiring people from the neighboring villages. Okay, and that actually poses some challenges, but it is good in the sense that we can have what you call workers that is available in a short period of time. Like for example, if I want two people to work for a day, it's possible. It's not a committed like yearly or monthly kind of thing. And then the environment that we are in, of course, needs consistent maintenance, but you can manage that within the village manpower.
Talking
Okay,
about
thank you. Uh, since your retreat is, to my understanding, it is mainly based on nature. So, is there any issues with like the government, like government regulations and environmental issues with your retreat?
Okay. I think here it is an interesting compliment in the sense that because Lengong has been declared as the UNESCO Heritage Site for Archaeology, okay, and which also means that all this while the environment in this area has been quite well preserved, and we are beside a lake which happens to be a man-made dam, the Chandro Lake. And as such, that you will find that because it is the oldest dam in Southeast Asia, so it was then probably perceived as something that is quite unique. So you find that there is a very low pollution going into the waters down here because there were actually not at all houses that sort of position itself by the water. And somehow or other, things have been quite nicely placed, not a problem in the sense. So the government has always been helpful in the sense that the Majlis Daerah, for example, is looking at ways to offer um, tourism related activities.
Okay, that's very interesting. So just now, when I talked about staff, right? Currently, how many staff do you have in your retreat?
Okay, we do not have. Okay, I like to share you something here. We do not have permanent staff down here. We have what we call part timers. That's a bit unique in the sense that because if 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 you try to understand that the manpower in the what you call village area is abundant, but it is not something that is permanent. Okay, understand that. And so we have to actually look at different ways of managing the resources, taking into account that what I said, it is not a permanent manpower staff. So we have to uh, sort of uh, lay out the job so that it can be performed on a daily basis. It is not something that you go like 2 or 3 months to achieve, but it's more like on a daily basis. So our manpower also relates to like maintenance of the room, maintenance of the compound, assist in like cooking, right? And sometimes it's more like looking at gardening. So it is not something that is critical to the extent where you have to have someone that have to work throughout, and that fits the bill when we talk about manpower in the village.
Okay, thank you. I still have one final question.
Okay,
So I understand because it is a retreat, right? So
yeah.
there are times of the year where there would be more customers and times of the year where there would be less customers. So during the time where there is less customers, what what is the reason that there are less customers during that time?
Okay. Your question is, my answer is yes and no, because the nature of our setup is such that because it covers also foreign gas, so probably we have less gas probably in summer from say Europe, but then we have local gas complementing that period. And then the nature of the business actually offers um, what I simply describe as simplicity, serenity, and tranquility. So we have local guests who are generally like above 50 and retired, and they have that comes in different times. So in a way, we have them coming just nice, throughout the week and throughout the year.
All
Okay.
right.
I think that is all from me. If anybody wants
Okay.
to ask.
And I think I also like to ask, and just now is that I think it's internal challenges, and now I think we also want to know about the external challenges. Maybe you face some challenge with the customer. Maybe some of them, as we know that different people they have different attitude, right? So, is there anything you would like to share about how you how you are faced with this type of customer where they create of problems to your business, and how you manage to manage to solve this problem?
Good question. And I would say that expectations differ, okay? And that's one of the factors when we talk about tourism. Yeah. And we do have guests who actually, when they come, I would describe it, they realize that it's not their cup of tea, okay? So that happens once in a while. Okay? But we found that it is important for us to define the product well. Like what the product here means the offering. So we always tell the guests that in our environment, for example, it's a village environment. So geographically, you can expect um, you know, things that is like for the lake, I would say you can see reptiles like biawak, things like that, iguana. But of course, we don't have crocodile. And the other thing is we have to inform them what we offer. Like we say, local food, one. Then we provide accommodation that we do not provide air conditioning. Okay, so we tell them we subscribe to delivering only fresh accommodation. When you define it in such a way, and you emphasize at the time when they inquire for the booking, right? I mean, you emphasize that you minimize that opportunity for what you call not meeting uh, each other's expectation.
Following up on external challenges, would you say you have strong competition in your area?
I would say that I would say I don't see it as competition. I see it as complementary. Uh, Let me tell you how why I say complementary. Because tourists generally, when they visit a place, they will make themselves aware of the other offerings in that area. Okay, so before they even come, they would know that there are a few places, and sometimes stories doesn't tell the real thing. Okay, so when they probably visit a place, they may realize later that it is not to their complete liking. So then they would go to another place that offers slightly different in that area. And likewise, similarly to our place, if they have been to our place, they probably would like to visit another place in the same area. So this is why I consider it as complementing. Okay.
Okay, I think there's a one member just joined us. Is he? I think she has a question.
No, that was me reconnecting.
Oh, okay, okay.
That was you? I was positive someone else wanted to join though. No?
I have two accounts here.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, um,
Uh,
so you already said that you have had the opportunity to host something like 140 different countries and having year-round customers. Just like to ask, uh, what is the marketing methods that you employ to bring all of these people around?
Well, I guess um, I have to admit that our retreat here do not have a signboard. Okay, we do not have a signboard on by the roadside, which actually uh, what they call intrigue a lot of our guests. Yeah. Because be frank, we believe in technology. Okay, and guests, of course, nowadays tourists nowadays will have to research first before they travel, and the online system provides that opportunity for them to research. And then, it is important for us to actually highlight the activities that is taking place in our retreat through our like Facebook, right? And of course, some of our guests do contribute by putting it on their videos and whatnot. Mm. So that helps in the marketing, and obviously, the time period also extend that opportunity because we have been around for 30 years.
Okay. Is there anyone have a questions?
Yeah, I have another question.
Mhm.
Uh, so since it's an outdoor based retreat, uh, are there any outdoor activities that you have for your guests?
Yes, of course. Besides the homestay or the local cultural experience, they will have the opportunity to go boating. Kayaking is one. Kayaking through, down the lake, and then they can also do caving, which is available down here in Longong. And unfortunately, they are also hiking. Some goes hiking to see the raffles. And Longong has that fantastic, what do you call, varieties in terms of its product.
Okay. So, are there any so I understand because kayaking, caving, and hiking, it's pretty dangerous. So, what are the dangers, and how do you solve them?
Well, I guess when you talk about hiking and kayaking, we have what you call tourist guide, licensed tourist guide by Motec around here. And also boating, there are authorized boating, but of course, kayaking, you have to play by the basic, like you have to ensure that you have life jacket, you ensure that you have proper kayak safe safe kayak, and uh, some guide as to where they can go and what they cannot do.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Um, so you already said about your place in Lenggong. Do you have any other locations that you are also operating in?
And here,
You already said about the uh, hold on. You already said about the place in Lenggong, but is there any other place that you are operating?
no, we are just simply focused in Langgong, all right? Tasik Chandro. Actually, Tasik Chandro is what we were looking at when we first started, because 30 years ago, Langgong was not an entity in terms of tourism. Okay. Now, when I mentioned about the cultural exposure and things like that, what we actually share with our guests is like simply the basic way of life. For example, uh, breakfast, it will be purely local breakfast, like nasi lemak, roti canai, and things like that. And when we have meal, we have dinner, they will learn to one, wear the sarong, okay, and they will have to wear their sarong for dinner, sit on the floor and eat with their hands, the cultural way, right? And then we will teach them the local game called chongka, and also expose them to a little bit of the cultural art like budak sejuk or silat, things like that. So these are the very basic activities that we share with our guests. And surprisingly, these are the elements that contribute to the guests enjoying their stay.
It's quite unique, and because of that uniqueness, I imagine there'll be some challenges nowadays. Uh, since uh, I'm going to guess that it's quite difficult to find like uh, properly made chongkak boards in today, or to find people who can make bedak sujuk. Would you say that's accurate?
I mean, it is not abundant in the sense that where you can get everybody to do it, yeah. But it is sufficiently available. But you have to make some effort to try and locate them. Yeah. Because almost everyone knows how to make it, but not everybody know really do it. Okay.
And I think I would also like to ask if is this the Sukasuka Lagong is the only place you have, or do you have any other branches at other place?
No, at the moment, this is the only place that we have. Um, well, I don't know, maybe in the future things might be different.
So the only place you have is the Sukasuka Lagong at the sole business, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what about the names? It's quite unique actually. The name is Sukasuka Lagong. How do you come up with this name?
Interesting question. Well, I guess that reflects what was the mood of the initiation. All right. We use the word Sukasuka simply means to us at that point means be free, be happy, or go as you please. So that is the definition of those words. And that fits the bill at the time when we started. All right? And fortunately, the word is a repeat word, suka suka. And this is the feedback I get from foreign guests. It's very easy to remember, right? Which actually was a blessing. Mhm.
Yeah, the name is also easy to remember. It's give good impression because the name is Suka Suka. So it means like the place can be happy at the place.
Yes, and that's I think one of the things that we learn is that in a business, I think those small elements does come into play.
Okay. I think Raju. Raju, do you have any question, Raju?
Hello, can listen up my voice?
Yeah, yeah, we can.
Yeah, so I also got a question. So,
Hmm.
are there any new technologies or methods you would like to implement to improve your business process?
You mind repeating?
Are there any new technologies or methods you would like to implement to improve your business process?
Okay. Well, I guess in terms of the business itself, I would not have any new thing because cultural and heritage are basically exploiting what we already have. But in terms of marketing, probably we may want to look at different market segments in the sense that by adding different elements to the product, since we have what we call the ecosystem around us, and the environment is very uh, serene and I mean remote. So there are factors like nowadays, team building, motivational courses. These are possible elements to look at within our environment. Does that answer your question?
Raju, does that answer your question, Raju?
Yeah,
Mm.
okay, I can understand. Sorry, my line is poor.
Okay, it's okay. Anyone else?
The one member that didn't talk, right? Raghu, you have any question?
Oh, Raku. Okay.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, got. Give me 1 minute.
Okay, while we're waiting for him, um, perhaps we can ask about some of the sustainability efforts that you like to implement in your business.
Repeat, please.
Uh, while we're waiting, I'd like to ask about some of the uh, steps towards achieving sustainability in your company.
Okay, here when we talk about sustainability in terms of the product, okay, the cultural aspect of it, like the village concept. The village concept, we have old houses that have been restored. And when we talk about restoring old houses, that is sustainability. That is sustainability in ensuring that the architecture in the early days are actually appreciated and uh, made available for people to appreciate. Right? And then secondly is the environment like when we talk about food, when we have pajuri, for example, pachal, the roja, things like that, and we make it available for people from all over the world to experience these various what you call food. And sustainability again here also involved in the supply because we actually source our what you call requirement through the villages. Okay, so they are organic in the sense because they are home home prepared or home planted. So that's one of the benefits which actually contributes to sustainability. Mhm.
Uh, I'm ready now.
Yeah,
Hello, can you guys hear me?
yeah, I can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I just want to ask, guests encouraged to participate in eco-friendly practices, and is solar power part of the retreat's environmental commitment?
Fortunately, yes. Part of our lighting is solar powered because we also have a small island in the lake. And of course, when we talk about a remote island in the lake, we do not have electricity, which actually is something that we like it. We like. So we started off initially 30 years back. We started off with generator, but now it's all solar powered.
Okay, sir.
Also, I would like to ask, how big is your business? I mean, the place, the area. Is it big?
Okay, this is a small setup, a small family setup. It is on a 3-acre lot, and we have uh, 12 old wooden houses that were actually relocated and reassembled and restored. So we have a maximum of 20 rooms.
Oh, I
Do you have
see.
any
I think that's quite big.
so do you have any plans of expanding this number of houses?
Uh, yes and no. I think we like to extend the offer in a sense of providing for a bigger market segment. But then there is this other question of what we say uh, authentic, authenticity, authenticity. So we like to keep uh, um, the service to a level that we enjoy. And so we think that overemphasis will probably not be good when we talk about cultural practices.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
So like, I believe that you incorporate cultural experiences like food, traditions, and like you emphasize on the village life into the guest experience, right? So how do you attract them actually to embrace the guest experience?
Well, one thing, cultural tourism is a very positive thing in the current market today. So when we offer the village lifestyle, it is actually synonym to the current what you call market demand. So we segment it, like I mentioned earlier, in three different or four different experiences. One is we say the accommodation itself is in authentic old wooden Malay houses that has been restored, and then we can explain to them about the architecture and whatnot. Two is, of course, like always they say, there is no better way to a person's heart except the stomach. So we offer them the local food, right? And then the local food means the local dishes that has been prepared within, what shall I say, using the local herbs and whatnot. And so we share with them how the village organizes itself. And then thirdly, of course, we like to share the simple living practices. So one of the activities that we have here is to show them how to dress in the sarong. Of course, we provide the sarong. And then we also take them a short walk around the village to explain to them the various ways the village organizes itself, and then touch on some of the herbal plants that grows around, and of course the fruit trees and whatnot. And lastly, of course, um, some fun games and things like that, or even the ecosystem that is around.
Okay. Thank you for answering this question.
Okay, welcome.
Okay, I have a question to ask.
Yes.
Uh, Has the business experienced any negative impact from rising operational costs or such as food, supplies, utilities, or staff wages?
In terms of supplies, I think we are fortunate, like I mentioned it, no, because we contain the business at this size, so it is not so challenging in the sense that it's easier to get our sourcing from the local supermarket or mini market and whatnot. Uh, but then we also have to be sensitive to the what you call the international guests that we have because some they have allergies and whatnot. So the challenge is to ensure that we understand the allergies and how to react with it. So there are certain times when we do not serve, say, what shall I say, uh, onions, for example, because some sensitive or allergic to them, or nuts. And we have also the vegetarian uh, uh, who don't want meat and things like that. And so those are the things that we have to cater for, accommodate, and also helps in what you call learning how to handle the different market segments.
Okay, thank you,
And
sir.
okay,
Right? Huh?
and also I would also want to ask either if I'm going to this Sukasuka Gong as a solo traveler, is it like worth it for people who like to solo who like to travel alone, or it needs to be in group?
You don't mind repeat the first part of it?
Uh, for me, for myself, I like to travel solo where I travel alone. So is it worth for myself to go to the Suka Legong, or is it worth for going with many people?
Okay, we have had interesting experiences, with one individual, a solo guest and a group guest. And surprisingly, we have a lot of solo travelers. Yeah, and of course, they have a different opportunity to experience things in their perspective. Whereas in the group, then you probably have what shall I say? You tend to accommodate for the others. Yeah. So something that I cannot say which is good, which is bad, but we have enjoyed both. We have enjoyed solo travelers and we have enjoyed group travelers.
Thank you, sir. Does anyone have any questions?
No, no more from me. Anybody else who like has any doubts and want to
Raju,
share?
you have?
No.
Okay, Caden.
No,
Okay,
no, no.
Azam.
No, I'm good.
So I think this is the end, I guess.
Hmm.
Is it? Is it? Yeah. No more question,
Yeah,
right?
I think we don't have any question, and I would like to thank our guest for joining us today.
Okay.
Thank you
Well,
so much for making the time to give us this interview that will be beneficial to all of us.
I also like to take this opportunity to thank you for the wonderful questions that you have put forward. And I think there's a lot of reciprocal learning here.
Okay, then I'll close with. I would like to thank Mr. Aziz and his sharing about his business, and I find this business is like unique because I live in the city, so it's once a while I want to escape the city life. So I think this place is a good place to escape the city life.
Most
Yeah,
welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Aziz, for your time and the sharing session with us.
Okay. Bye bye.
okay,
And
thank you.
Thank
Bye
you.
everyone.
Thank you, Mr.